Welcome everyone to season 3, episode 1 of the Expert Advice by Non-Experts Football Podcast.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back.
Oh, it is good to be back. And I'm going to start this podcast by just, obviously I got to introduce my co-host, and we're going by, we got our new nicknames that we're going through here, or I should say that, Hoss, artist formerly known as Chris, decided to bring back one of his old nicknames from back in the day. So, and you're going to have me here, the other Chris, but I'm going to just be going by Boonkie, Boonk, Coach, whatever Hoss decides to call me. Obviously, Senior Huevos, his name is never changing. He's back. We're all back here, ready to go, ready to give you those locks when we get closer to that. But Hoss, we'll get all into that. Hoss, how are you doing? So glad to see you. New and approved addition to it. Got you now live on camera for the podcast. Hoss, it's so great that we got this upgrade. How you doing, bro?
Yes, sir. And you know what? We got another beautiful year of football. I know, again, say it every year. Love the summer, but, this is just the time of the year. This is prime time right now. We got so much going on in preseason, and you can see, I've been repping for every year of this podcast, and I may have looked like an ass clown some years doing that. However, this year it's a new swagger, a new energy, a new life. So very excited for football this year. We primarily talk about, fantasy football and our bets. And then obviously me and you, we argue over Jets Dolphins every week.
Always.
But none of that usually ever matters. It's usually insignificant to the bigger picture of the NFL. But now the two of us really out here, the lifelines of the NFL, I feel just true battles in the AFC East. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing year and just a great year for just to listen to a Jet and a Dolphins fan just really duke it out.
Absolutely. And also for all of our audio listeners that isn't here watching live to see Hoss on screen, you can tell that it's been a rough few years for the Jets. What jersey are you wearing right now, bro?
See, now, when we first got these stealth black jerseys, right, I know I was hyped as hell because honestly, I ranked. That's what we should do too. One of these days, I'll get a couple of those tier list makers out because I did a tier list maker for for jerseys and everything like that.
Okay.
And that was one thing, when I was looking at it, and I never want to give the Dolphins one little ounce of credit, but Boonkie, I got to tell you, the Dolphins color, it's fire, so you can sit there any year. You could get a Dolphins jersey anytime, any place, and it's a great time. Now, when these stealth blacks came out, we just got Le'Veon Bell. So of course I got the Lev Bell stealth black that quickly just turned into a Halloween costume. That was the only time it was acceptable to wear that thing. But you know what? I'm gonna wear it now, and I think I'm gonna get the stealth black Gardner when I get the chance to make it back to the stadium, because I think I'm gonna get our new throwbacks. I prefer those to the green and just anything else. I love white jerseys, so I'm gonna get that in the new Rodgers tint that we need.
That's going to be pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. After being a Dolphin fan, it's upsetting to see the Jets just stacking their roster just a little bit more. Almost like now it seems like the last few, obviously, months, they just keep adding it. We got some breaking news that happened just about an hour and a half ago, which we'll definitely talk about in a little bit. But man, it is very, it's frustrating being a Dolphin fan, and also just on the fact that the finally time the Dolphins have a good team and the entire AFC East is stacked. The Patriots, they're definitely the weakest of them, but they're still a competitive team. It's so unbelievably frustrating that, of course, it's going to happen. It's the same thing for you, Hoss, being a Jet fan, where you're unbelievably just getting beat down by the Patriots for years, now the Bills, and then you finally get a team and everyone else is competing. But yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, fuck Bill Belichick. We don't even have to talk about that again. We know what we know. We hate him.
No,
Nobody
absolutely.
likes him. If you like Bill, you're either a bandwagon Patriots fan or just like a real student of the game. But other than that, if you're just an actual fan of the game, then you hate Bill. You can respect him and hate him simultaneously. But unless you're sitting there and you're just like one of these people that, wants to watch somebody win a Super Bowl, not smile and just say, we got next year, we got to start working. Like, bro, shut up. I hate Bill. Just happy to. I'm all for, by the way, not to rant too much. I'm all for saying that Tom Brady carried him. I'm all for that.
All right, okay. Well, we're gonna wait and see. We got Mac Jones. He's got we really know other real weapons. The only other weapon they added in the offseason, they added Juju. I know they added Mike Gesicki, but he went down with an injury today. So it's amazing. If Mac Jones, I know we got some more things to talk about, and I know we're ranting a little bit, but it's the first day back. I'm happy to be back talking football. But if Mac Jones,
there's too much football to talk
so
about
much
right now, so we gotta literally keep diving into things left and right. So we need a little of this banter early on just to set the tone. But
exactly,
we'll be getting into this in a real deeper scope soon.
Obviously, the last thing I would say, just it goes to how just competitive the AFC East is, especially like this year. If Mac Jones just progressed just one more level, forward, that team is a very competitive team because that defense will always keep them in games no matter what. So if they just leveled up a little bit, and again, another little breaking news, not as intense now because of the what we just heard about an hour ago, but Zeke did sign there. So they added a little bit. I know he's old, but that's some good goal line work with Ramondre Stevenson. And then you got him in the goal line. We'll talk about that a little bit later, as the weeks go on, getting closer to fantasy. So what I'll do now, if we move forward, let's kind of talk about what we're going to go through this episode. So next, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to talk about some new updates that's going on with the podcast and what we got. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the fantasy league that we both co-run, because we have some exciting updates from this league that we did. Then we're going to talk about some breaking news, and then going into obviously us just bantering a little bit because obviously one of those breaking news is huge for my co-host. And then, as you can see, for all of our live and everyone here live watching, we are going to be doing a mock draft. So we are going to be showing that live on stream. And then obviously the next day, we're going to post this audio for all of our audio listeners. And so let's go ahead and let's move a little forward. So new updates coming on to the podcast for this season. So we do have a new Twitter account for Hoss, X account now for Hoss, because he's going to be adding a little bit of extra content for this. Because another thing that you don't know about him is that he's real into grilling, cooking up some real good food and smoking food and everything when it comes especially to football. So he is going to be where he's going to be cooking up some real good food. He's going to post that on his X account, Twitter, and he's also going to be adding a little bit extra stuff to that by cooking up some real good bets for us this season. So, Hoss, I'm gonna let you say what is the new X account. I'm gonna mess up that Twitter X account for a little while.
Yeah,
Elon, don't get mad at me.
Honest, I'm still calling it Twitter. I think if anybody says X, I'm not gonna even pick up on it really, unless they also throw Twitter into it. It's gonna be rough. It's going to be real rough. But yeah, that is at the EAFNE _ Hoss, HOASS. Wanted to just get involved in the Twitter sphere for the fantasy football podcast that we're doing here, right? And just everything kind of sports related there. But, I've been always big into cooking, and I just recently got into the smoking game, maybe about back in January, and I've been making just some fire barbecue. I'm talking ribs, briskets, wings, pulled pork butts, and I also do in the kitchen stuff. So on Sundays, I'm Italian. I make that Sunday dinner. You feel me? I got the gravy on deck. So, just a place, because what it really is I'm always on, I'm on Snapchat, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube. I'm looking at people's recipes and things like that. And I've just been inspired by a lot of people to cook some really great food. And, I put my own kind of swing on it that I know that a lot of people really like. But, I see a lot of people cooking up some real mids food. And the same way I see people cooking up mids parlays, and I want to get my parlays out there, I see people cooking up some mids ribs, some mids briskets, and they still putting them out there. So you know what? I want some quality content out there, and that's really all I'm shooting for.
Let's go. And I'm excited to see, I'm excited to see your like Sunday football meal that you got grilled and cooked up, with also just a screenshot of your ticket that you got from your single bets and everything like that. I'm excited to see this menu they're cooking. And a little like, not a spoiler, when we talk about, the podcast episodes are going to continue how they were kind of before. We're going to have a recap during the Monday Night Football game on Monday. And obviously... And then we're going to talk about on Wednesday. We're going to talk about our slate and everything here, and then we're also going to do another episode talking about the actual bets that we're placing, and that's when Hoss is going to have his segment, because me, I have my dogs parlay, and then we're going to have Hoss is going to have his Sunday menu. And it's going to be great. He's going to tell us what he's making for Sunday and what bets he got cooked up for Sunday. So it's really exciting what we got going on coming up with that. And then on top of that,
depending how good my bets do, depends how crazy I go on the cooks.
There you go.
If I hit a big week, I might go do some crazy stuff. So, stay tuned.
Absolutely. I can't wait. And then, so on top of that too, so right now, for all of our live audience, we've been doing this on my Twitch account, and that's, twitch.tv/the Coach Boonkie. What we are in the process of doing is actually creating a podcast Twitch, so that it would be easier. Everything would be all connected. You just go right to our, the Expert Advice for Non-Experts podcast Twitch. And on top of that, we're also working on putting up a YouTube channel to post, some highlight videos of the podcast and also just the VOD. So, and anyone who wants to watch this everything live, or just be able to watch it after the fact, if you can't tune in, you have that option. And also you will always have the option on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts to listen for the audio. And those are the updates of the podcast that's going on for this season. More to come. Definitely make sure you're following both of our Twitter/X accounts, and we will definitely it's exciting. I can't wait we're gonna move forward, and it's going to be a blast. Can't believe we're here for season 3. So what I'm going to move right into the next little spot that we got going on, and it's actually some edits that we did for our league. So everyone here who's been listening for the last 2 years knows that Hoss and I run our own fantasy league, and it's been going on. It's been the same group of people. No one has left or dropped, and it's been the same people. This is our 5th year running this league, and just like clockwork, in every time that we do well in any other league, Hoss and I, any other league, we're winning, coming in second place, making the playoffs, whatever. Our league that we co-run, we never make the playoffs. It is so unbelievably frustrating, but we want to try to add some fun to it, because there's a bunch of great guys like in there that want to that really are just into it. They take it real seriously. So we wanted to add a little things, and maybe we thought that people would like this too. So what we added now was we increased the dues of our league. And now we have, if you are the highest scoring team of the week, you get a cash payout. And we do that every week during the regular season. And then we also added, if you win the league, on top of the cash payout that you get, you also will be rewarded an NFL jersey of any player of your choosing that was on your team. And then finally, we added a last place punishment. And we've been wanting to do this for a while. Hoss and I have talked about it for a long time, and we finally got one, because Hoss kept bragging about, him getting into all this cooking stuff. So he's like, so we came up, let's do this. You got to go over, hang out with Hoss. He's going to smoke up some wings for you, and whoever comes in last has to do the hot ones lineup, going all the way from the very first one down to the bomb to the last dab, and that'll be happening. And we will actually have that recorded for week 18. And I cannot wait. I'm going to be there, hopefully just to witness as the co-commissioner and not to actually eat the wings. But I definitely think I'm going to eat a few of the early sauces at least, because Hoss is he's talking a big game about his wings.
I'm going to make a smorgasbord, you know what I mean? Just wings on deck. And honestly, like I said, I'm a big blue cheese guy, but when you hit that last dab, you got to let that one marinate for a couple seconds. So we will definitely have that on camera. I'm going to bake on the flavors. There's going to be no getting away from that heat.
Yeah, you think it's going to look nice and fine. There's no sauce in there. Oh, trust me, that sauce is there. It's embedded into that wing now.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the new additions that we added to our league. And we wanted to make sure, like, obviously we're very open. We talk in the podcast a lot about our league. So we wanted to just show the little updates to see if anyone who's been kind of toying with the idea of maybe he's like spicing up the league and adding a few things that doesn't really like break the bank. In order for us to do the weekly highest score and the winning payout, the winner gets also a jersey. We added the buy-ins ended up being just an additional $50. So it actually wasn't even anything that crazy. So, and it was great. Just it's great when you have a league that just has everyone who's just immediately down. Like no one said, everyone was immediately like, we're in it. Let's go.
Yeah. The great thing is too, we wanted to really determine a last place winner. I feel like that's always a problem in a lot of leagues, and it was, even a problem in our league, because a lot of times I even check out if I'm not in the playoffs, which I've never been in our league, but so I don't pay as much attention, and then the waiver wires are just give me picks, and then really whoever just got to really hold on to that waiver wire pick, right, they'll just get fair game over everything. So I think having a team that's constantly working to not let just anybody get advantage of the waiver wire and just make an impact in the league, I think that's what we were going for. So making that weekly score really still going through week 17, right? So even if you're in last place, you can still get the highest weekly score and still make some cash on the side, right? There's still an incentive to keep playing rather than playoffs hit, you're not in it, you don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
I just feel like that lays it up for you. Because we were always doing that. We were locking rosters, things like that. We're not doing that anymore. Fuck locking rosters. Let's just make people keep playing fantasy football, keep the league honest, and then you'll get a real honest winner. That being said, maybe I'll be in the mix this year. I'm really hoping for that. But if not, hey, I need some best ball teams to just go and get me a weekly score.
Right.
If I win that a couple of times, I'll be good.
Hey man, if you just win that 4 times, you pretty much almost win your money back. So just think of it that way. So, that's 4 times.
If I win it 4 times, I should probably be in the playoffs. You would think.
Those are the only 4 wins you got, bro. It's the 4 dubs. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
your team came out
or whatever it is.
But they came out to ball those 4 weeks, bro. Oh man. So I know, let's cut into what I know you're excited to talk about. Breaking news as of today, Monday, August 14th. We had a few hours ago, Ezekiel Elliott signed with the Patriots, which that was the breaking news, which is, still pretty big. But what really just broke everything today was that you have Dalvin Cook signing a 1-year deal with the Jets.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel?
This is something that, again, I think we had to talk about. I didn't want to really talk about and go into fine detail until I really knew what was happening. And really, it's just the Breece Hall health. I'm not sure really what's going on with that. But that being said, I thought that was something that could hold us back into the season, and I'm very confident now. I was always confident with our RBs that we had, where Zonovan Knight, Michael Carter, both great running backs. But really getting someone like Dalvin Cook in there, it's going to be healthy week 1, lessen the load. You don't have to rush Breece Hall back and hand him 20 balls a game. You know what I mean? You could really ease him back into it and make that stretch. Have a top running back the entire year. And, he's a rookie. He's got a lot of good years left in him. I understand the status of the league right now for running backs is to just beat them into the dirt. But when you got a young guy coming off an injury, it would be really nice to let him come back, ease him in, and don't put that humongous workload right on top of him. We have Aaron Rodgers. We have a great defense. We have a promising young wide receiving core. Offensive line is probably one of the best offensive lines Aaron Rodgers had to play with his entire career, because Green Bay has done him so morally dirty over the past decade. So I just think that if we sit there, we weigh it out, an $8 million hit, I don't think it's that bad when we know we have Breece. We saw what happened at the beginning of Saquon's career, right? Kept coming back from injury, re-injury, and then all of a sudden he comes back. He has a great year last year. I would like to get that great year out of Breece Hall now, and I just think Dalvin does that. Now, for fantasy purposes, it throws the wrench in there. Congratulations. Fantasy football is going to hurt a little bit on the Jets running backs. But that doesn't matter to me. I'm probably fading Brees Hall anyway because I don't understand the injury updates. Does that mean I'm fading Dalvin Cook? No, it's just, will the ADP be there? And that's one thing I'm actually looking at right now is rankings and really seeing where I would take Dalvin Cook. And I think this draft we're going to do today is going to be real telling and real showing as to what we're going to do with him.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And honestly, if I was the Jets, I know you and I talked about this a few weeks ago before the podcast really started, just because that was when the real rumors, like, obviously a while ago when Dalvin Cook got, he was got released and everything. And then there was all the talk that he wanted to play in Miami. And so then there was talk, then obviously he went to the Jets. And we had a conversation about it, just saying, like, why would the Jets go for Dalvin? You have Brees Hall, who's solid. Yes, come from injury. You do have a good core and everything like that. And what I think is what the Jets ultimately, what their goal is here. I think they signed Dalvin Cook to the 1-year deal, and now the plan is to just keep Brees Hall off of the field as much as possible. Rest him as long as you humanly can, just because of, like, he is going to be your guy. Dalvin Cook is still, like, yes, he is still like a younger back, but Brees Hall, obviously, he is your future, like, he running back, like, he's gonna lead that, that backfield eventually. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets are really going all in right now with this roster and these free agents to try to win a Super Bowl this year. And if you do happen to win that chip, I wouldn't be shocked if next year you see Dalvin Cook again a free agent and you have Brees Hall back and you're starting RB1 next season.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is Aaron Rodgers reworked his cap. I'm sure he went and said, hey, I love the young talent we got here, but I've been seeing Dalvin Cook across the field from me 2 times a year for the last 5 years, and it's been scary. You know what I mean? I want to play with that guy. Let me restructure my cap hit. Here's $35 million extra. Spend a fourth of that and just go get this guy. You know what I mean? I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely there. He's making calls. I was talking about Aaron Rodgers earlier. You've never seen Aaron Rodgers with a smile on his face, grinning as much as he's grinning right now. He knows he's cooking up something special. He knows the coaching staff believes in him. And I just think the two-way street is something he hasn't had in his career. He always had McCarthy, who we all know is a fat slob. He just, I don't know what to tell you. He went to Dallas and he went in the interview. He was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's like... Jerry Jones says you're hired, all right, so whatever. then you get LaFleur, and LaFleur sits there and just like, this isn't Aaron Rodgers' team, this is my team. And Aaron's like, the hell are you talking about? I'm a first ballot Hall of Famer. And then they don't give him no weapons, draft his replacement 4 years too early. He just never looked happy in Green Bay for the last X amount of years that I could really remember. He was still winning MVPs, but he just didn't look happy. He's over there. He's in New York. He's revitalized. He's all over town. He's just, it's like when Tom Brady left the Patriots, and then now everybody likes him now. That being said, I was going to like him no matter what. And I've always liked Aaron Rodgers. I've been talking about him as, in my opinion, the most talented quarterback that I've ever seen. Just pound for pound, through arm talent and just player ability, right? I've always thought he's the most talented. I just thought he's always been screwed over by his teams. And I think the Jets really support him and want to make him almost, like I said, part of the coaching staff, take his opinions into consideration. And, we did that with a lot of different free agents, bringing other guys from Green Bay. I don't think this is going to be the end of it, though. I think we're going to go get other guys, too, and it's going to be different staples to the O-line. And a lot of people were saying Zach Martin, who, let's not even breeze over that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my Tony Pollard now and seeing where I really want to put him in the list. I know Zach Martin's back. I know he's ready to play ball.
Huge signing.
That's huge for Pollard's that fantasy outlook. So just things like that. I just think there's more to come. We still have many weeks left, and there's still injuries that could arise, right? So you got to figure out what's going to happen. It's still early on, but I like the way we're looking.
Yeah, honestly, it's tough for you not to be excited as a Jet fan. Honestly, I have no love for the Jets. Obviously, being a Dolphins fan, I hate sorry to my coworker, I hate the Bills more than I hate the Jets just because of Josh Allen. But I will say, it's tough for you not to be excited. Like you have Sauce Gardner, who's obviously really good. Garrett Wilson had a great rookie year, and he's obviously with Aaron Rodgers. You can only assume he's going to have a better season. And obviously Aaron Rodgers, and Hard Knocks is really showing just how good Aaron Rodgers is. Because if you really think about it, we haven't seen any of Aaron Rodgers like inside practice, like how he is and everything like that until Hard Knocks. And the first episode, they really just like kept following Aaron Rodgers, but how can you blame them? And so as a Jet fan, you got to be excited. As a Dolphin fan, you got to I always am optimistic the last few years just because of obviously the team that we have around him and everything here. Tua's healthy with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. I'm very happy about that. Obviously, it's a little more disappointing now not having Dalvin Cook because the big talk that he wanted to play in Miami. Miami offered him a deal. He said no. And I'm really curious now to how different the money really was to the point to where he said no to a multiple year contract of guaranteed money compared to a 1-year deal. Here, so I'm really curious to was the money that big of a deal or that much lower per year that he rather just give me the 1 year for the 8.6 that he got. And then also,
I truly think he's ring chasing. I've been saying that for a while. I think he's ring chasing. I think Aaron Rodgers might have talked to him a little bit, But hey, it was a rough market out there, and you still got a ton of good running backs.
Yeah, one thing I will say though, it's been another thing that's been disappointing about the Dolphins stuff like that. They made some moves in free agency that's been nice. Obviously adding Jalen Ramsey, I think was a huge obviously addition going into that lineup to give Xavier Howard some help. Yes, it was. That was really frustrating to see him go down and everything. But as someone who has gone through seeing a player have a partial tear, given the option of doing the full recovery or kind of just the Band-Aid fix, going with the Band-Aid fix, it didn't go well. That happened with Ryan Tannehill. When the 1 year with Adam Gase, they went off, had a really good year. Tannehill hurt his knee. They gave him that option. They did they looked at the weeks, the time frame recovery. If they won the wild card game that year and got to divisional, Tannehill would have been able to play. So he did it to try to make the playoff run. They didn't win the wild card, so everyone thought it was good. But then the first day of practice the following season, Tannehill rolled out, and that knee injury he had, boom, just right again and worse. Had to do the full recovery, out for the year. So we lost him pretty much for a season and a half doing the Band-Aid fix. So I'm happy that Jalen Ramsey decided to go with the full recovery fix that gets him out until pretty much December. But I think the Dolphins, when they signed him or went for him, traded for him, whatever like that, when they got Jalen Ramsey on this team, the idea was to have him for more than just 1 year. So I'm happy that he did that, thinking for the future. Obviously, it sucks that he's not going to be there week 1. But the thing is crazy. The guy had surgery 2 weeks ago, and he was at practice the other day walking around. He had obviously a brace on, no crutches, nothing, putting weight on it. Totally fine. So who knows? Maybe that December might be a little bit early. He might be a little bit earlier, which is nice to see. But I'm just excited to see football back. And if Tua is healthy, I think the Dolphins can compete with absolutely anyone. And I cannot wait for the Dolphin Jet game again this year. Both of them to watch them. Unfortunately, I'm gonna try to still go to the Dolphin Jet game at MetLife. Unfortunately, it's on Black Friday at 3:30, which is absurd. They missed opportunity. Should have been a night game. But maybe we'll see. You might get some content of Hoss and I definitely talking some shit to each other at that game tailgating. Hopefully, we'll see that.
I might get the Weber out over there. You know what I mean? Start doing the smash burgers in the parking lot or something.
Let's do it, man.
I think we should definitely try to get there.
I want to do it, man. We'll get the tailgate going. You unfortunately wasn't able to make it to the tailgate last year, but I went all out. I had I went all out. Food, drinks, snacks. I brought a griddle to put on top of my charcoal grill. I was making bacon, egg, and cheese, pork, leg, and cheese as hash browns, and all that for the morning, burgers for later. So yeah, get your little flat top out there, man, and you and I really be big cooking and everything. I'm gonna get a power generator going so we get the TV for pregame. Yeah, I'm ready, bro. We got it. We'll get this popping this time.
100%. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the Black Friday game, I know it's not a night game, but should still be fun. Hopefully it like decreases the price of tickets a little bit. Not that I really care about the price of the tickets, but sometimes I just want to be a little closer, man.
I get it.
Those cheap seats suck over there.
Dude, the reason why it stinks that it's not a Friday night game because it's a missed opportunity. Like, because a lot of companies I know like are off on that day, but some aren't. So imagine you do a Friday night game where it's a long weekend because you have people traveling, and then you have nothing going on Saturday, so you can literally just go and just tailgate all day, go to a game, be able to buy, drink, Uber, DD, all that stuff safely. You have all that time and everything like that, and knowing that you don't have anything to do Saturday compared to going to that game till Sunday night, knowing you have work on Monday. Like, it's just such a missed opportunity for that weekend. They should have done a night game. If they did it a night game, I guarantee you that place would probably almost sell out. If not, that parking lot at least will not have one parking spot open for that tailgate at night.
It would be crazy.
It would be absolutely insane, man. And it's going to get chippy because, cause again, this division, the AFC East is, I think, hands down the toughest division in all of the NFL, which is crazy.
And it's going to be really good because, like I said, we're going to have a couple of those episodes coming up where we're going to break down the divisions, do an analysis of it. And I guarantee when we do the AFC East one, we're going to do the AFC East and the NFC East first. I think we're looking at what I believe the AFC East to be the most competitive division in football.
Absolutely, which is crazy because you just go back, three seasons, 4 years ago. That's not the case. It's crazy how quickly it changed.
I mean, the Patriots represented us anyway, but it doesn't mean the division was competitive.
Exactly. This is the first time that legitimately every single team in the AFC East could make the playoffs, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. But we'll definitely deep dive into that a little bit closer when we get ready to like do those divisional rounds in the next episodes and everything. I think if you're ready, man, I'm ready to mock. You ready to mock?
100%. Yeah, I got a bunch of my draft board kind of figured out, a couple little adjustments, and I think we should start it up.
All right, perfect. So we're gonna be mocking. Yep. We're gonna do it. We're doing a mock draft of our league. So we got 12 teams, full point PPR, 2 RB, 2 receiver, 2 flexes. That is how we normally. That's how our league goes. We randomly generated our draft spots. So we got Hoss at drafting from the 6th spot, and then you have me drafting from the 11th. So this is gonna be a wild one.
Whew. All right, let's start it up.
Let's ride.
Yes, sir.
All right, so going off first. Let's see. Oh, here you go. You rock this out.
That being said, I've been seeing a lot of Justin Jefferson 1 overall ADP. We obviously weren't involved in that mix, but that being said, I'm still going CMC over everything. Jefferson would be my number 2 100% of the time. Chase, I think Hill's a little low here. I think it's a little overzealous for sure. I think the same thing with Diggs. We've been getting a lot of these drafts with a very wide receiver heavy early on. I get it. My depiction of it would be, say, going up to this 6th spot, would be CMC, Justin Jefferson. Then I would go Eckler, Chase, Kupp. That's how I'm looking at it.
You really see, the thing is about Kupp, and like I understand Hill being like Hill goes up a lot more because of Kupp's injury recently. And also, too, for all of our audio listeners, the way the first 5 picks went CMC, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs. Then Hoss has a minute left on his clock for his pick. But I
was supposed to do it unlimited time on our picks so we could talk about this. I wonder if I could pause every now and again.
You might be able to. You just pause it right there. So going forward, like I do agree with this lineup a little bit. I think Stephon Diggs is definitely early. I definitely like Kupp over Stephon Diggs. And realistically, Kupp's injury right now is just scary because he is a little bit more of an injury-prone back, but we know what he could do. But so like Tyreek Hill had a phenomenal season last year. He had his best season as just a pro last year, and everyone's expecting if Tua is fully healthy, then it's going to be at least that, if not more. So if Kupp's injury didn't happen, you would not see Hill at the 4. Hill would go, I see him going kind of 5th, 6th. So it's not too early for me, but it's all because of Cooper Kupp's injury.
I'm scared of Hill. I know I'm not like scared of Hill. I'm fine with him. Like, I think I have him as my 9th overall pick, right? So I'm not scared of him, but at the end of the day, I just don't know what's really going to be going on with Tua. And then everyone's taking Hill high, everyone's taking Waddle high. I know I've been the Hill and Waddle downer guy for a couple years now, but it just seems like it's going to be a lot of mouths to feed over there. And with a quarterback that I'm not confident in his health really going to be for the full season. So for me, it like I said, I would go CMC, JJF, then I would pivot back to Eckler, take Chase. Then at the 5 spot, I would be fine with Kupp. And I was anticipating going with like Nick Chubb here, which is where I would be taking him. I know a couple guys they have over him right now are specifically that I want to discuss is Bijan Robinson. And then they have Saquon Barkley.
Mhm.
Saquon, listen, whatever you think about Saquon's what you think about Saquon. I just don't have a lot of trust in Daniel Jones. I have 0, actually. I think he's detrimental to the offense and the run game specifically because he wants to run the damn football. He's taking goal line touches from your running back. Bijan Robinson, I don't get. Do you have any idea why his ADP is this high? This is an Atlanta running back. It's not a prolific offense. And they had Tyler Algier last year, who had a great year, and Cordell Patterson, who had a great year last year. You really think this rookie's going to come in and they're just going to give him the backfield? They're going to give him getting drafted here at this ADP 7. I mean, that he would have to get 80% of the touches on a prolific offense. I don't get how it even gets this inflated, but am I wrong? Do you see something different?
So Bijan Robinson is going to produce, I think, very well for fantasy. But for him to go this high, it is scary for me just because, yes, no other team runs the football more than the Atlanta Falcons right now. Because of the backfield they had. Cordero Patterson had, a great year. Algier had, a great year and everything like that. But Bijan Robinson has been destroying it in camp, and they're saying that he is clearly like the number 1 guy. So everyone's speculating that if he is going to be the number 1 and have that much of, a target share or, just like that much of a percentage in this offense for the team that runs the football the most, that he is going to erupt and explode. But it's just really tough for me to draft a rookie running back according to his ADP, he's going in the 7th, pick. Like, to me, that's so tough when you have so many other people on the board. Like in this spot right here in your draft, like your 6th spot, you have Austin Eckler, Kelsey, Kupp, Barkley, and CD all right there and everything like that. Like for you, like there, I would take Austin Eckler over Bijan in this example here.
Well, that's a perfect way to look at it because 100% I'm taking Austin Eckler. If I could get him at the 6th spot, I'm taking him every time. I'm happy with that, and I will now defer to you. Off the board, after I took Eckler at 6, Cooper Kupp at 7, Kelsey at 8, Bijan Robinson at 9, Saquon Barkley at 10. You are on the clock, Boonkie.
So this part's a little bit tough for me here because obviously, like, I get a nice quick 1-2 turn. And I have a few options I can go here. So it depends on what kind of team I want to build. Do I want to go try to be balanced and go receiver and running back, option here? Or do I want to build, I can go 2-2 running back right here, or I can do the receiver, the no RB strat and try to go a lot receivers and pick up stuff late. Because I have some good options here. If I want to do a 2-2 strat, I can go CD, I can go CD and then probably Amon-Ra or Devontae. Because if I go CD here or AJ Brown, the next team 12 is going to get the other. So I can do a CD Lamb, Amon-Ra, AJ, Amon-Ra, or I can go Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry. Like that is because I think Derrick Henry, with the amount of receivers on the board here, Derrick Henry is coming back to me. And like, do I pass that up?
By what I looked at, I have Chubb as the next available player I would be taking. CD Lamb would be right after Chubb. Obviously, we could see CD's ADP's higher, so you probably want CD Lamb. You're going to get Chubb coming back to you most likely, just given the ADP. I don't know if it's obviously a mock draft. I don't know if they go Mahomes. So really, in real life, I would feel like it would be if you took CD, AJ Brown, and Nick Chubb would come off the board at the turn. But that still leaves you with Derrick Henry coming back. So I wouldn't be scared of that at all.
Yeah.
I also think the drop off from CD to AJ Brown is much bigger than the drop off from Chubb to Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing is, it's tough though, because all of these options here are all now potentially, except for AJ Brown, they're all like gonna be like the bell cow pretty much of like the offense. Like CD is the clear number one, and he's been going off in camp, and he's saying it's just night and day difference. And they understand Brandon Cook's a little bit older, but they got some more names around him that can open up a little bit more. Then you have Nick Chubb, who now with no Kareem Hunt, he is the guy. And then obviously Derrick Henry, he is the guy there. So really, and AJ Brown, the only reason why I say AJ Brown's still is the number one receiver on the Eagles for sure. But Devontae Smith is a very, very good receiver, and he is going to take up, like AJ Brown to Devontae Smith, I think is definitely closer in a 1-2 punch for, percentage wise of who passes and like, who's going to get market share in this offense compared to CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. And then when it comes to that, do I trust Jalen Hurts to get to AJ Brown better compared to Dak to CD? That thing's kind of tough there.
I just think, the methodology of the offenses and what we would really see. Dallas is going to put the ball in the air more, and you're going to have good potential for AJ Brown, for touchdowns and everything. But we know Jalen Hurts is rushing in those touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Let me also compound that now with the fact that the Eagles players in general, I feel like, and their franchise in general, actually the entire NFC East in general, I think is inflated due to a cakewalk schedule last year. So when I put that into perspective, do I think AJ Brown is still going to have a good year? Yes, I do. I would still put him below currently right now. I would put him below Nick Chubb, below Amon-Ra, and then below Derrick Henry. I think I would still take Devontae Adams over AJ Brown, but it's really a toss-up because I'm not confident with Devontae Adams, the quarterback really there. But I do think Vegas is going to be down a lot, and they're just going to have to be chucking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's almost going to be the Amon-Ra effect that was happening last year, which made him so prolific. So I feel like Devontae Adams should also have a great year.
All right, so
I'll open it up for you though. I know I have it paused, but I'll let you get the pick in.
Yeah, so the pick that I'm gonna go with, going everything, potentially planning, also looking back to what's gonna come back to me in the next for the third and fourth round. I'm gonna go CD real quick here. And unfortunate, I was hoping that Nick Chubb would get back to me here.
The reality that I depicted there when I said in real life, what you're going to get that happens is AJ Brown, Nick Chubb is going to go at that turn. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened. I did not think Patrick Mahomes being ADP of 13 is really reasonable. So congrats to you, Sleeper, for getting us some good computers and making this a actual competitive mock draft, because that's exactly how in real life I think it should have went.
So what I'm going to, I definitely do agree to that, even though Patrick Mahomes, I think taking Patrick Mahomes right here, I don't think is an issue whatsoever. But I just personally, I've never been a fan of getting quarterbacks early. Unless the earliest I'll go normally is like in the fourth round, that's what I'm looking at, like, Lamar Jackson and everything like that, or like the third, fourth round, I'm looking at that. So what I'm going to go here, again, kind of planning potentially what's going to come back to me here. I'm going to go back to try to build that little balance team. So I'm going to go with Derrick Henry here. So starting off with CD and Derrick Henry.
And as I said, I thought Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, I really think they're both right around that same thing where I'm very comfortable taking either of them.
Very shocked that how this played out for you.
So I have no idea. But if this happens in real life, I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You, with your second pick there at the 11th spot, you got Derrick Henry, number, 14 off the board, 15 Devontae Adams, 16 Mahomes, 17 Garrett Wilson, 18 Jalen Waddle. I'm here on the clock at 19. I got Amon-Ra looking me right in the face. And, a couple other names I could mention there, JT, Josh Jacobs, Josh Allen, Tony Pollard. I'm not reaching this early. I already have Eckler. I can look at wide receiver. After Amon-Ra, Chris Olave, T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, Metcalf, Debo. These are all names I'm really not willing to take yet. If Amon-Ra wasn't there, I would be going running back yet again. I would be going JT, maybe even considering Pollard at that spot because he's not going to make his way back to me anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely not.
For me personally, I think Amon-Ra is going to be amazing. I think the Lions are going to win this division this year, and I think a lot of that's going to be on the back of Amon-Ra. We saw the defense last year. It was unimpressive, and Jared Goff's going to keep chucking it to him. So let me get Amon-Ra here.
And I don't blame you for that. I have Amon-Ra over Jalen Waddle and Garrett Wilson. So the fact that both of those went before Amon-Ra is shocking to me. So I think that's a steal for you there.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain with that. After my pick, it went JT, Josh Allen, Mark Andrews, Tony Pollard. Team one at the turn went Josh Jacobs, Jalen Hurts. Then Breece Hall, my boy, went. Chris Olave.
Sleeper's not updated yet from the breaking news.
Yeah. Well, we could also see that because after Olave went Ramondre.
Yep.
And obviously his price tag goes down a little bit.
He
Najee
absolutely
Harris, back to me. So, a couple little things that you just touched on, and we could just give a quick pause here. Breece Hall and Ramondre both taking a little over what we're expecting here.
Yes.
But that being said, I would take Najee over the both of them. Right at this point, do you agree with me?
I would take I think Najee and Ramondre is very close for me because even though Zeke signing with the Patriots definitely takes a hit on Ramondre right there, he's still going to be the main guy. I think what really hurts that Zeke signing for him is the goal line work. So I think Najee Harris
which is like the most important stuff, though.
It is. Opinion, no, that's huge.
If he's just, not getting the touchdowns, I mean, PPR, sure, he's going to be a monster, but like Zeke just falling in the end zone, I don't know how many touchdowns we're thinking he can get this year on an offense that we're not anticipating to really be prolific anyway. I know Pittsburgh's going to hand the ball to Najee. Now, last year it was rough. I had Najee. I get that. But I do anticipate that Pittsburgh offense to be a little better. Mm-hmm. Give Najee a little more of that workload, take a little of the pressure off Kenny Smallhands Pickett. I don't know how many backflip catches George Pickens could get you.
That's true.
He's a monster. He is a monster, though.
So it really does. It depends when it comes to Najee Harris. If you think he's going to fall into the end zone now more than Ramondre Stevenson because of the Zeke signing or everything like that, then yeah, they're close because Ramondre Stevenson is going to catch, I think, more passes than Najee's going to. Mm-hmm. But I will say the biggest thing that stinks about all of this update here is the Breece Hall, because Breece Hall is not going to go in the third anymore now. There's going to be people who are going to argue Dalvin Cook is going to go in the first, because you think about last year with Minnesota, he was in the last few years, he was a first round draft pick and everything like that. So do you think with this signing, is Dalvin Cook still a first round draft pick?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't be excited for him. I'm still taking Najee over him, and then I'm taking Travis Etienne over him. Then we're looking down ADP, right? Mm-hmm. Jeremy Gibbs, not happy about that one. Ken Walker's here. They think Charbonnet is going to be really getting into his market share. I just don't see how you have a guy that played so well back there with Kenneth Walker that you're going to really disappear from him. But it is the Seahawks. There's a lot of work to go around.
That's true.
Mixing out there. Mm-hmm. Aaron Jones, you got to anticipate him and A.J. Dillon should be a very big focal point of that offense.
Yes.
So really after that, right, after Aaron Jones, and then there's Dameon Pierce, not excited about the Texans. Miles Sanders, not excited really about the Panthers, even though the Panthers have had running backs coming out playing good ball. But I don't think I'm buying it just yet. But that's really where I would start looking at the tea leaves, seeing the Breece news. I'll probably put Ramondre, in my opinion, after Etienne, after Mixon, after Jones. I, again, got to keep looking at these tea leaves, seeing what's going on with Ken Walker. I'm not buying into the Gibbs hype really at this point. Yeah, how are you feeling about all that? Because me personally, with this pick, I just know technically by ADP, I should be taking T. Higgins or Devontae Smith, but there are some other wide receivers that I like. So I'm going to take ETN because I think he's going to have a great year.
ETN, I think definitely is. I think he has the capability. He's played well with Trevor Lawrence, and we all can only expect that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a better year, obviously going on this year. So there's obviously so much hype for that offense. I do understand, the Kenneth Walker all that situation, because he's also been kind of banged up in practice. There's a lot of mouth to feed in that backfield now. And then I see there is a lot of hype when it comes to Gibbs, because just now they cleaned house at that running back spot, except for they did add David Montgomery. I personally like the idea of drafting David Montgomery over Gibbs, just because David Montgomery is going to get the goal line work, and he's just at his price, it's so much better than spending right here a 3rd round draft pick on Gibbs. So it really goes by the team that you want to build.
Let me tell you from the perspective of a guy who has drafted rookie running backs very often. It does not always work out, specifically in our league. In other leagues, I don't really take the risks on those rookie running backs, and I'm consistently in the playoffs, right? This Gibbs, the same thing with Bijan. Right? I was there. I had JT the first year, Antonio Gibson the first year. I had Najee the first year, and these guys, as much as Najee was good. Don't get me wrong. Najee was good. I don't know if he returned where I got him, because I might've got him at pick number 10, number 11, but he was going to a Pittsburgh Steelers team that we knew is going to run the damn football with one guy, right? We know that Atlanta is not going to give the ball to one guy. We know the run game in Detroit is not prolific. Remember all the years of DeAndre Swift that we're sitting there, give Swift the ball, and they gave him the ball for 8 to 10 carries a game, and then it was Jay Willie on the goal line every time, getting 18 touchdowns in a season. None of that went to Swift. They're not going to be a team that sits there and pounds one running back down the whole thing. And to return a 3rd round pick ADP for the Lions team that I don't anticipate to, be a run heavy offense. I can't really justify that.
No, that's all, completely, fair. And also it depends too. You can talk about who you're going to pick and ADP and everything like that. And it really it depends on also too, just the team that you want to build and everything like that here, because that, for example, Gibbs, he may not be, he's drafted up in a 3rd round pick, but he may not be the guy. But if you don't have at this point, if you're in the tail end of this draft, I didn't get Derrick Henry, that's my best running back. After that, I'm not going to have too many more options. You got to do it. But it really just goes on, and it's tough. The whole thing, fantasy is just stressful, just in general, when you think about, when it comes to draft
pick. Are you taking Gibbs, or say you had to go RB here, right? Currently, right now, I'll give you the top 3 RBs based on ADP. You got Gibbs, Ken Walker, Joe Mixon, and I'll even throw Aaron Jones into that mix.
I like Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones over
Ken Walker, Mixon, and Aaron Jones. Are you taking Ken Walker over Gibbs?
I would take Ken Walker over Gibbs. Yeah, I just don't like his price.
I mean, Ken Walker, even if they're saying Charbonnet is going to get in on his action, right? We know the Seahawks run the damn football, right? That's what they do. So, again, I'm here. I'll let you pick whatever you want, but I honestly don't even know. I don't think you go RB here, but I'm curious to see what you're going to get.
On draft time. I'll go real quick here. I have 2 solid options of which one I want to go with more. I am going to go just off the experience of what we've seen in the past. I am going to go Debo over Calvin here. Yeah. To pair up Debo with CD. And then on the turn,
Debo's 100% what I would have went there, by the way.
Yeah. And this is the thing that it ultimately would have worked out. If I am, because I got Derrick Henry, I don't necessarily need to go with a running back. And I have good options here at receiver. If this was my actual true team, I would Calvin Ridley's real nice looking here, but because just of the bye weeks, that would, if this was my actual team, I would get killed in the bye week because I would have Debo and Calvin Ridley both there at 9. So I do like the fact that I can now get my first flex and have my starting receivers be CD, Debo, and Keenan Allen. That is huge, but one thing that's real tough for me to look at is that I am staring right in the face at Joe Mixon, which obviously I know there's a pending potential suspension going on with him, but if that's not a crazy suspension, I think maybe like 2 games, that's going to be like, he's still the guy. They got rid of Samaje P. Ryan.
That story was crazy, by the way. I don't know what's going on with that. There's no real news on that. It could also delay the entire year.
Exactly.
So who really knows what's going to happen with that? But go on.
This is where this turn is tough right here because I have Joe Mixon and Aaron Jones, who Aaron Jones is going to be a huge part of that offense. So do I like that over grabbing? Because at this point, it's Keenan Allen or one of those running backs, because Calvin Ridley, I may like him a little bit more than Keenan Allen just because of just like how he's looked at camp and everything. But it'd be nice to turn out that receiver and add that first flex. So I think I am going to do that because I feel really solid with Derrick Henry, and I'm going to go Keenan Allen here.
Yeah, Mr. Reliable there. You can. I feel like you got a lot of upside. I just feel like Keenan as a consistent flex player, an amazing option there. You got Gibbs over here in your next pick. Ridley off the board. Justin Herbert taking TJ Hawkinson.
Oh, and you're looking.
I'm sitting here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You don't need a running back really, but you're looking right at that.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking Mixon. I'm looking Jones in the face. Next best receivers I could take, Amari Cooper. I'm high on the Browns this year. I like Deshaun Watson. I think he's going to get back to playing good football. A couple other notable receivers, Hopkins, McLaurin. DJ Moore, I'm not buying into that hype. Don't get me wrong. QBs. So if we want to look at the QB share, I'm going to pause the draft real quick. The QB share right now went Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Burrow, Lamar, Herbert. So technically, I would put Fields maybe over Herbert. That's where I would look for him. So I think this is a fine place to go and really reach for him. That being said, I feel very comfortable with a lot of the quarterbacks I have coming late in this draft. One of the guys I was going to be looking at late in drafts, that was a couple months ago we were mocking, Deshaun Watson. He wasn't getting taken. His ADP is getting boosted up left and right. So it does get a little scarier now if you don't go and get your quarterback. That being said, not going to reach on Fields. I'm going to continue to, I think, bolster that RB core. And I truly think, just pound for pound, Aaron Jones is still an amazing player. I think LaFleur's dumb as hell. I think we've already had this conversation too many times, but I've never been mad having Aaron Jones on my team. And I think with 2 good running backs in Eckler and ETN, I think having Aaron Jones, who's a true ceiling play, you put him down there and you get some of those 4 touchdown weeks, and then I get the highest score of the week and get paid out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I could definitely see that, because all Aaron Jones, he's gonna have at least 1 or 2 of those giant breakout games, like you're just saying here too as well. Justin Fields going super late. I do agree with you with Justin Fields being over Herbert. I would draft him over that just because of the rushing upside that you get with Justin Fields, you don't get with Herbert.
If he got back to me, I would have taken him.
That's wild.
The pick right before me. So after Aaron Jones, Mixon, Amari Cooper, Hopkins, Kittle, then we're back to team 1 at the turn. Sanders, Dobbins, Kamara, Pierce, DJ Moore, Justin Fields, and I'm back on the clock. That being said, I'm sitting here looking at my team. I'm 3 running backs, 1 wide receiver. And to be completely honest, I'm not taking a tight end this early. Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert. I don't believe in Darren Waller. Giants can't hype him up enough. I'm not doing it. QBs, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson. It's too early for all that, in my opinion. Really, realistically, what I would want to do is draft Alexander Madison. Now that would be 4 RBs.
You'd be looking like Team 1 right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. CMC, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, J.K. Dobbins, an absolute animal of a man.
That is wild, man.
That being said, I am not going to jump on the running backs right now. I think there's a clear wide receiver I would want to take. He's got, I think, a good value here. It's Terry McLaurin, new kind of ship being run over there, a new quarterback. They're going to get it done, and I think Terry McLaurin has always produced. I'm not willing to jump on a Jerry Jeudy yet or even a Drake London. It's not happening. I'm not drafting wide receivers that Baker Mayfield throws the football to. I'll trust anyone over him. I'll take Terry McLaurin here, and I'm going to rock with Amon-Ra Terry McLaurin.
Okay, that's pretty fair. And then coming up to my pick right after that, Trevor Lawrence off the board, then Drake London, Jared Jeudy. We got Watson from Green Bay, then me right back for my fifth pick, and my team. Right now I got Derrick Henry, CD, Debo, Keenan Allen. So I am building a pretty, I think, solid team name wise for sure here. There's a few options I could go here that I like. I definitely am going to lean a little bit more closer to the running back position here. And I think at this point, what I'm going to do here just to get it, because he's the last real, I would say the last real clear running back here that's going to potentially be the bell cow guy there, and he's going to be really involved. I'm going to go Alexander Madison here to take here just to pair up with Derrick Henry, because realistically, Derrick Henry is going to be solid. Alexander Madison, I think, can have those boom passing plays going through. That's really going to help raise his points for my team.
More. I had a lot of trouble not taking him before, but I did need a wide receiver, right? So where you were at, I love Madison. I love that he got to you there, and I would be taking him 10 times out of 10 from that spot.
And then right here, what I like to do in the quick turn is this, in realistically would actually work, because Sleeper hasn't updated for me after here. I think he would have been taken by now. But in the 6th round here, I'm going to turn it and make my team balanced, because I don't really like too many receivers that are on the board right here, because I'm not grabbing Brandon Ayuk when I have Debo. I'm not grabbing Chris Godwin. I would rather grab, if I'm going any type of Tampa Bay receiver, I'm going for Mike Evans. That's still later in the draft compared to now. So for this one, just because he's here, hasn't updated, I'm going to round out with my other flex and grab Dalvin Cook here.
Mm-hmm. And that's a perfect kind of lead in to discuss kind of what happened there. So when we look at the running backs, we'll take a couple that went before him, right? So say you're earlier on the clock, right? ADP gets adjusted. We see what's happening. All right. Miles Sanders or Dalvin Cook?
Dalvin Cook.
I think I'm still eating Sanders there. I just like Carolina running backs. They've always kind of produced. So I feel like it's a little more solid. Again, gotta keep reading, see what Dalvin Cook's job's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would take Sanders. I'll go with the counterpart that was just there, Alexander Madison or Dalvin Cook.
See,
I would also, by the way, I would take Madison, I think, over Sanders. And I think it's going to get to that point back when we get down to it. Like, if I was sitting there, if I didn't have 3 wide receivers, or say if I wasn't looking at Aaron Jones, and I was sitting there and I had Miles Sanders and Madison looking at me, and then you also have Dobbins, Kamara, and Pierce, right? I think Madison should be the biggest guy out of that bunch, just because we know he's produced in that position. However, what would you choose, Madison or Cook? Because I would go Madison.
See, that's the thing. It's real tough because it's so early. Like, Dalvin Cook got signed by the Jets today. Like, we need to just get, once we get more information, that's really going to, like, turn it. Because, like, I mean, obviously right now, over it just in my draft, I take Madison over Cook, because I know if Madison is not injured going into week 1, he is getting every single, like, snap, like, handed to him if there's any type of running play. Dalvin Cook could get that same type of, work in New York. And if that's the case,
Maybe
then I
for
take
a couple
Dalvin.
of weeks, but not for the whole year.
I
Maybe a
can see
couple of
Dalvin
weeks.
still produce the amount that he was doing in Minnesota before.
I don't think that's anywhere in the cards, honestly. Like,
You don't
I
think so, really?
Dalvin Cook's ceiling is probably like we were just discussing. I think it's going to be similar to that split of Ken Walker and Charbonnet, right? That people are scared of. Like, it's going to be a 1-2 punch with a couple of other scat back guys mixed in. Like, I still think Michael Carter is going to get a share of the offense. And it really comes down is Dalvin Cook going to be the 2-minute drill guy? I think Michael Carter's kind of been that guy. I don't necessarily know. I think the offense is going to be prolific, but
you can't compare Dalvin Cook to Michael Carter. Like, Dalvin Cook's the 2-minute guy.
I'm saying, but he might be the first, second down guy. It depends how they want to shape this offense, and like I said, it also depends on how Breece Hall is going to be mixed in. I personally think, now that Dalvin Cook's back, you could see them each get 7 carries a game and then just really ease the offense and let it meld together for a little while. You know what I mean? Who really knows?
It's definitely early on.
Yep, it's early on. Got to keep reading the tea leaves. Got to see the preseason game. If they're going to run the ones out there, we got to see who's out there. I anticipate it's going to be Cook. I don't think you're going to see Breece in the preseason at all.
Definitely not.
Which is also an indictment on Cook too, because it means Breece really is that guy. But I don't know. It's going to be shaky. I would take Cook right behind Madison though.
Okay. And also too, this won't be our only mock, so we'll wait and see as once we get more information on Dalvin Cook. So who you got for your pick in your pick in the 6th round?
Yep. So we got Dallas Goedert off the board, James Conner, Chris Godwin, Cam Akers. It's on me. I'm on the clock. I'm not gonna go QB yet. I'm not jumping on Dak like this. I'm not doing it. Technically speaking, by ADP, it's telling me Kyle Pitts. We all know how that went last year, and you're telling me that Brian Robinson should be a first-round pick. Why would I go and jump on Pitts? I just don't like it at all.
So much talent with Kyle Pitts. That's why it's so tough. Like, you want to draft him because there's such a what if, but like you can't do it. There's been a what if for this will be the 3rd year.
Yeah, I'm not jumping on him, and really, I'm not rushing that pick. A couple guys I'm interested in, Rashad White, Isaiah Pacheco. Really don't know what's going on with Javonte yet, and really what that offense is going to do. I know we talked about Montgomery. I already have Aaron Jones, so I wouldn't look AJ Dillon's way at all.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, right now, I liked kind of what the end of the year. Brandon Ayuk was looking good. I'm not getting burned by Pittman ever again. Rookie quarterback over there. JT's kind of throwing, his shot at trying to get a better contract. So realistically, right now, I know I have Eckler, so Mike Williams is kind of a little bit off the table for me. I'm going to look the way of Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I think that would have been the pick I would have done for you right there. For me, it would have been torn between Brandon Ayuk and Tyler Lockett. I understand there's a lot still, there's still a lot of mouths to feed because they added another rookie receiver that's a real stud and everything here. But Tyler Lockett is, I think Tyler Lockett's a good play for you here. But I think Brandon Ayuk is going to get more actual catches per game compared to Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. The Jigba is going to be really questionable. I like the outlook of rookie wide receivers, but you got Geno. He did light it up last year.
He did.
But you got Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and then you add in the rookie. It's going to be a powerful offense that spreads the ball out, but it's a power offense that still wants to run the ball first with 2 guys that we're trying to say are both going to get big market shares. It really leans me off that offense. I'm still in on Metcalf on like a late 3rd rounder. Like, I'll take Metcalf over Olave. But other than that, I'm not jumping on him. Here, I think we talked about it. I'm 3-3 right now. I'm fine with going Mike Evans. I don't take wide receivers that get thrown to by Baker Mayfield. I don't anticipate Baker to be the quarterback there for the full year, though. And I do anticipate Mike Evans to either still be the number one or hopefully get fucking traded and go to a team that doesn't suck.
Look, you got Mike Evans almost a full round later than Chris Godwin. Mike Evans hasn't had a season where he's been under 1,000 yards, no matter what quarterback he has. He's still got 1,000 yards receiving. We had Jameis Winston, who threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in a year.
Hey, don't disrespect Jameis.
I know.
That man's a legend.
I'm just saying. I'm not denying that. Not denying that, man. Anyone who tears his ACL then is that same game is dancing on crutches in the back after they won, like legend. But like,
I'll eat a W any day of the week. That's all I'm saying.
Mike Evans, I will. If there's a Tampa Bay receiver, I will take Mike Evans just again because you got him at the price. He's like I said, he's made 1,000 yards receiving almost every single year of his career, and he's almost an entire round after Godwin. So I like Mike Evans for the price that he has there. And I think for just going right into my pick here, I think what I'm going to do to round everything out and complete the stack, I'm okay right here grabbing Dak in this pick here. Even though realistically I could probably go someone else because I don't see Team 12. They already have Lamar, but I don't really see too many people in front of them that I like a little bit more. So I'm just going to play safe, get my quarterback, get Dak, and have that stack of Dak and CD. And then I think when it comes to this point here, there was some players I was taking a look at. What I was hoping, I would have waited for Dak if I was hoping for David Montgomery to get over to me. And I was going to get him for that goal line work just in case if Madison or Cook on this team got hurt, or even Henry obviously there. So this kind of put me in a backup spot right here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab David Njoku here and pretty much just get my starting lineup done. I see him producing real well if Deshaun Watson plays just remotely close to how he did when he was in Houston.
I think Njoku should be a great player. Deshaun Watson, like I said, I can't say enough about how much I want to watch him play good football again. I think at this point, I'm not going high on Schultz, Komet, Kincaid, the new Buffalo weapon.
Yeah,
I'm not in on that. That's all hype. So really for me, I'm waiting late for Tyler Higbee. I think that's really where I'm going to lean in a lot of drafts when I don't get anybody I'm really happy about. And then even just kind of based off that, I rocked Gerald Everett for a good long time last year. I'll do it again, And then really, really, really late tight ends, who I like over a couple of these other guys, just because, like I said, I'm not in on Dalton Schultz in Houston, Cole Kmet. We tried to run that option last year, but I think you can take your pick at a couple of the Jets guys and really see who has, is it going to be Tyler Conklin? Who's going to have the rapport with Aaron Rodgers, who likes to target his tight end in the red zone? That being said, here from this pick, I got Brian Robinson, I got Jay Willie, but I think Penny should be the guy in Philly. Should be the guy in Philly if you could stay healthy, Penny. So at this point, I don't need to start him, but if he turns out good, it's a steal down here in the 8th round.
If Rashard Penny ends up being the guy that is, for example, steal, it's really confusing what's going on in Philadelphia. One day you have Kenneth Gainwell saying that he's dominating camp. Next day Rashard Penny is. The next day DeAndre Swift is. I really don't know who is going to take the lead in that field.
Boston Scott could get cut.
Yeah, which that's kind of.
What are they going to do against the Giants?
Yeah, I know. He's the giant killer, So, I think you're safe getting Penny just because at the price of where he's going. Because, like I said, Penny has won many of people their leagues because he just, in the last 6 weeks of the season in Seattle for the last few years, he just dominates. And if he even just does that again, I think he's going to put up more points in Philly because Philly's got a better offensive line. So, I think Penny at that for his price is real nice.
Well, they took Aaron Rodgers. Not that I was going to look to really take him anyway, but I just wanted to very notable after my penny pick, Jay Williams, Treylon Burks, Deshaun Watson, who I really wanted to come back to me. Tua, T1, Jahan Dotson, Quentin Jeff John. Ooh. Quintez Johnson, Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas getting a shout out there, Aaron Rodgers, and Zay Flowers at Baltimore. I'm back on the clock. I haven't taken my quarterback yet. Running backs, Brian Robinson, don't care. Charbonnet, again, could take that. I have kind of 4 running backs, and I already took a flyer. Tight end, I'm not pulling up on that. Wide receiver, Juju. I will never take a wide receiver that needs the ball from Mac Jones ever in my damn life. Gabe Davis is possible. I'm not taking OBJ, but it is going to be Anthony Richardson for me. Should have rushing upside potential, and I don't think that there's a quarterback with ceiling at this point in the draft. So I think taking Richardson now, because I don't think he was going to get back to me, and then backing him up with, say, a Goff. I could get the stat going with Goff. I could take Russ. Russ could have a better year. Carr's still out there if I want to floor play.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, Kyler's down there. He could still run the damn football around.
Yep.
But I think if Anthony Richardson hits, he doesn't have to play good real football. All he has to do is run around like an asshole, like Justin Fields was doing, and we're still gonna make out on a 9th round ADP on him.
You could get by.
I will take Anthony Richardson over Tua. That's where I'll take Deshaun Watson over Anthony Richardson, but then I'm going to take Richardson over Tua. Well, I don't know if I'm going to have a full year of Tua. I don't know what the year of Tua is going to look like. I'm scared of that, man. Again, you tell me what you want to tell me. I think Richardson at least is going to be running around. Like
that's fair. I'm not denying that. Not denying that, but taking him over Tua is incorrect. I understand the fear of it.
I'm saying I'm taking him over Rodgers. So this is fantasy football.
That's true.
This isn't real life. I like rushing upside on quarterbacks, and Tua should not be running the football past the line of scrimmage ever again.
That is also fair. And also with my pick here going to, so after you got your quarterback, then we got Robinson got taken off, Dalton Schultz, Juju, Elijah Moore, then me. I want to get this other running back before, but I think he's going to make it back to me, especially because Team 12 doesn't have this receiver. So I am going to add a receiver here, and I'm going to go straight for a ceiling. And everything here, I'm going to grab Gabe Davis. I think that's going to be totally fine for me. And everything worked out because the running back that I wanted to pick up is actually, there's 2 options that I got going on here. Well, 3, really. There is the rookie running back in Seattle, which I'm not the biggest fan of rookie running backs, like you said earlier. And so now I want to go another running back here. And I'm looking right at Samaje Perine, and I'm looking at Khalil Herbert. I like them both. Khalil Herbert is going to get more time than Samaje Perine. But
you're not looking at your boy Devon Achane?
No, I'm not looking at Devon here, and because Khalil Herbert, he's been a part of the offense. He's played with Justin Fields. He obviously, it was the first preseason game, but he had a monstrous day. So I think I'm just talking myself into it right here. I'm not taking Courtland Sutton. I went through the experiment last year. He's probably going to have a better year this year. I don't hate him at this point, but I just can't do it out of principle. So I'm going Khalil Herbert here.
I would also have taken Khalil Herbert there. I think his ADP, he should be above Brian Robinson.
Yes.
I don't see how we looked at his production last year and in a timeshare with David Montgomery. Now he should be the guy. He should be a heavily featured back. I get it. Justin Fields kind of cuts into your share, but I would take Khalil Herbert above, a couple of these other guys that I seen, specifically, Brian Robinson. I just don't know what's going to go over on there in Washington. I intend that they're going to be down in games, which is why I'm comfortable with McLaurin, right? Mixed scoring. You gotta be chucking him the football, but at this point, I can't. I can't really trust the running backs over there in Washington. Been burned by Gibson too many years in a row. That being said, he's going to have a lot of good games because I didn't take him this year.
Of course.
So that being said, I'm already in on Amon-Ra. I'm not going to go in on Jameson Williams. I can't go too many, Lions receivers, even though it's really fine. I have a good balance right now. I'm sitting here. Quick pause on the draft. I got Eckler, Etienne, Aaron Jones, Amon-Ra, McLaurin, Ayuk, and then I don't even need to start Evans or Penny. Richardson as my QB. So now looking at that, right? I look at my tight end spot. Dalton, Kincaid, not doing it. Higbee should still make it back to me, right? Like I don't need to jump on him. So I could really go and pick another ceiling play at wide receiver, and that really could be Jameson Williams. Even though I have Amon-Ra way up there, I don't see really a realm where taking Williams as a real speedster in a high volume, high throwing offense is really a bad thing. But that being said, I think in these late rounds, we all tend to value running backs a little more. Rashad Penny might not be a guy, but they're saying Kane is extremely fast. So I'm gonna take your Miami boy.
Yeah, no, he's going to have, especially now, the fact that Dalvin Cook is out of the picture and everything like that, he is going to have a big role in this offense, especially too if Jeff Wilson or Raheem goes down.
Which they will go down. I want to promise you that. Jeff Wilson and Raheem are both made of glass.
It's so frustrating because they're so talented.
Great players. Yeah. But we watched the 49ers do the same thing in San Francisco with those same two running backs. Injury. Let's take this other guy. He got injured. Oh, thank God Jeff Wilson's back. He had a great game. Now he's injured. All right, Raheem's back. He's injured. Like, bro. And then we watched Miami just do that same thing last year, too.
Yep.
So they're going to do the same thing. Devon should get his time. Right before me, I don't know if you've seen it, Justin Tucker got taken off the board.
Yes, I was shocked. So defense started coming off the board.
Yep, Alan Lazard, Cowboys D, Eagles D, Kincaid, Jameson Williams, McKinnon, Gino. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name.
Tennessee.
Okonkwo for,
I think you're right. I think you got it right.
End. Yeah, I think it is Okonkwo. But that being said, it's rougher than it looks. Thielen, Justin Tucker. Now looking where I am, like I said, I could be looking. I'm really think I'm good on running back right now. I'm pretty stacked. Tyler Higbee is the guy I've been saying I'm going to target. I'm going to finally take him with this pick. Could be very patient on my tight end, 11th round, and I think Higbee is someone that I would take over a lot of guys. Like maybe not Higbee over Njoku, but like I'm going to take him over Kmet for sure. 10 times out of 10, I'm taking Higbee over Kmet.
And I do agree, Higbee, as long as Stafford's healthy, Higbee is going to get thrown the ball more. Kmet is going to have a stretch of a few good games, and then he's just going to disappear. Because that's just normally like what he does and everything here. So what I'm going to do, this is tough because a little part of me wants to go because some defenses are starting to go off the board here and everything like that. So I'm like, do I want to go defense here? Which is always tough because I know you like to stream it, so you like hardly ever draft a defense. I know you
defense streamer, yeah.
So it's tough here because obviously one of the better defenses that we have still on the board right now is the Jets defense, absolutely. But they're also going up against the Bills and the Dolphins twice a year. So, like, that is a very, very tough defense to draft. We got
Buffalo week 1, It's going to be Buffalo, Dallas, okay, you can play against Dallas. New England, okay, you can play against New England. But then you go and you look, and it's like, can you play them against Kansas City? Hell no.
This is where it's tough.
That week 5 against Denver, bro, we're going crazy.
That's the thing that's real tough here because I think defensive kickers are going to start coming off the board real fast there. But I think I'm going to continue just shoring up my team here, and I'm going to grab another receiver and just, to add to my flex spot for some injuries, and I'm going to go with Rashad Bateman. And then the Jets, imagine the Jets came back to me there. That would have been crazy. And I don't necessarily like to grab too many players from, I'm actually going to do something I never do. Normally I would go defense right here. I think what I'm going to do is actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm actually gonna go back to back. I think I'm gonna go back to back Ravens. I'm gonna grab the. I'm gonna go Baltimore defense because I have a feeling that there's a player that I was thinking about adding a little later, but I think they'll make it back to me by the next round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now we don't got to really go into too much. It's a lot of crapshoots. This is really the part of the round where you can start shoring up some of your backfields, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it could be something where, all right, I have just for whatever's sake, let me just think. Say if I had Pollard, right? I can go grab the other guy from Dallas that's been lighting it up. What's his name again? Come on, you gotta know him. The 5'5" guy. What's his name?
Vaughn. His last name's Vaughn.
Vaughn what?
His last name's Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn. This could be big Deuce Vaughn territory. Don't get me wrong. Just since I said it, I'm gonna take Deuce Vaughn. Here you go. It's gonna be big Deuce Vaughn territory. That's all I'm saying, right?
You see him run around out there, and he looks like, Mario before he gets the mushroom to level up. So he's trying not to get hit once. That's why he doesn't get touched, man. Because if he gets hit, he's done.
Bro,
you restart.
He be crazy out there. Like I said, this is the part where, especially this early on, you could go see what you're looking at. Wide receivers, Tyler Boyd. Do I want third round receiver for the Bengals who may not have Joe Burrow and things like that? Not really. Romeo Doubs could still be a guy over there. Who does blanking on his name too. Gotta get in the swing of things. Who does Jordan Love have the best connection with? Right? So
Watson
is
or
it
Doubs?
Romeo Doubs? Is it Watson? Where does he like to throw the football? We don't really know what part of the field he targets, right? Like Daniel Jones is throwing it to a slot receiver just because he can't throw the ball outside. So I'm just saying little things like that. We got to keep looking, keep seeing what's happening. At this point, the last guy that I'm going to take one more running back. Don't get me wrong. Don't get mad at me for this one, but I am going to sit here and take my boy Kareem Hunt because he can still land on a good team this late in the game. I'm taking him as more of a testament to don't forget about Kareem Hunt. You know what I mean? He is still, I believe, going to go to a team that's a contender. You could watch Kareem Hunt go get reunited with Kansas City again.
That would be kind of insane if that were to happen, and I think he would explode if that was. I think his ADP would go up very, very high if that were the case.
It would be crazy.
And
that's why you don't draft on August 14th. We are drafting on a Monday show, by the way. September 4th is where we will be streaming our live draft. Yep. So we have a lot of time. But if you are drafting this early, if you're in one of those leagues and your commissioner's an ass and wants to do that, draft Kareem Hunt.
Just let them know that they're incorrect for having the draft this early.
100%. So we seen after me at Kareem Hunt, Daniel Jones, Bryce Young, Raheem Mostert, Russell Wilson. You went Zeke, which is, fair to say. He shuts off the goal line work. Tyler Boyd went after Singletary. You picked up Jake Elliott, Eagles kicker. Hold on. Rashee Rice. I saw R. Rice. I said, hold on. Let me recognize his name. Jacoby Myers, Deontay Foreman, Nico Collins. As I said, I needed to back up my Anthony Richardson. So lastly, I will take a guy who I think should be good still and have a good floor play, which will be Derek Carr. Now, again, same spot. I can go Derek Carr or Kyler Murray. Feel like Kyler's a little more of a crapshoot right now. Week 1, maybe I'll just go Derek Carr. Keep it safe. He should still be slinging that rock, especially if he got Michael Thomas, by the way.
He's got Michael Thomas and Chris Olave, and he's going to be checking it down to Alvin Kamara after his suspension, stuff like that. I do like Derek Carr there over the Kyler Murray play because Kyler Murray, he's fighting off that injury and everything like that, and he also lost DeAndre Hopkins. And he doesn't have Christian Kirk anymore and everything like that. Yes, he still has Marquise Brown, which is very good. But Derek Carr, I think, is surrounded better than Kyler right now.
How will I dictate my defenses right now? I will tell you one thing and one thing only. Stream against bad teams. Washington has Arizona, Denver in their first 2 games. Yeah, that's one of the ones I'll be looking at. I promise you that. That is not the main defense I'm going to be going with. I will find a good 5 defenses for sure that I'm targeting. Week 1, week 2, that's what I want my defenses for. I am going to stream against Arizona until they prove Vegas wrong, actually, because Vegas has them as the last team in the league right now. Especially you see the clown show clips that are coming around on Twitter of like their practices being absolute trash.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stream against them, and I'll stream against Denver, by the way. So just something to look out for.
I also too, just the last few rounds here, I figured I'd just end this up real nice and real quick. And there's another receiver that I like more than DJ Chark that I ended the draft with, and that was Michael Gallup. That was still an option, but I had CD. I wasn't gonna go CD Michael Gallup onto that team. So that's the end of the
one quick
draft.
Highlight.
What do you got?
Just to not scare anyone away if you're looking at the live show. No, I didn't take a kicker. And you will never see me draft a kicker in my entire life, because I will pick up a kicker on Sunday morning every week because I do not care who he is.
Running
I
a
will
league.
never care who my kicker is. I will hold on to speculation backs going into the weekend. Fuck drafting a kicker.
Running a league with you for now going on 5 years, that is an absolute fact. That's what he does every single year. And hey, man, it works for him in other leagues, not ours. But I don't think the kickers really is the reason why he's losing. So I
lost that 1 week to you with those damn kickers.
That's true. Just stop being just stop being so sore about it. You lost. Suck a dick.
What was it, like 3 years ago that happened?
Yes. Calling me constantly. I'll put Discord, you piece of shit. We gotta talk about this. We corrected the league. I wasn't making the playoffs anyway. It didn't matter. That's true. So then we finished up this mock draft looking at the teams we got here. We got Hoss. He went off. He got Eckler, Amon-Ra, Etienne, Aaron Jones, Scary Terry, Brandon Ayuk, Mike Evans, Rashad Penny. He got Richardson as his first quarterback. Then he's got I don't even botching my own players' names. And everything here, he's got the Miami. Was it a Cheen? I definitely just botched. You said it earlier. A chain. We're definitely probably bopping this real wrong. And I'm sorry, all Dolphin fans listen to it. I apologize. I'm a bad fan with that. But then you finished it off with Tyler Higbee. You got Vaughn. You got the nice 5'1" running back, Kareem Hunt, Derek Carr, and then the Commanders defense ending it out. No kicker, but you'll figure that out Saturday. If this was your team. And then I finished up, and that was from the 6th spot. I finished up on the 11th spot out of 12. I went off with CD, Derrick Henry, Debo, Keenan Allen, Madison, Dalvin Cook, Dak Prescott, David Njoku, Gabe Davis, Khalil Herbert, Bateman, and then I did Ravens defense, Elliott, and then I went Elliott, and then DJ Chark.
Jake Elliott. Oh, and that
wasn't
was at
planned.
The same turn too.
It was. That was not planned. Swear to God.
That's a banger. That's a certified banger right there.
Yeah. So, looking at the quick spot before we end, the first episode of season 3. I taking a look. Obviously, you're gonna be a little biased and everything here too as well. I'm very happy with how my team turned out off this 11, this 11 spot here, and that turn late in the rounds can be tough. I think I have a very balanced and honestly scary receiving core.
Yeah, that 11 spot is very scary, and I'm really want to keep seeing how things are going to turn out, because a lot of these drafts are going to be really mute right now because it doesn't matter. There's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out going forward that'll shake this up. But I was even doing one from the 9 spot yesterday, and it was damn rough. And even looking at that 9 team right now, I hate his team. So I don't know if maybe that spot's just a bad spot for me personally when drafting, and I like 6 a lot better, but I like your 11 spot too. So, we got to really keep working at it, keep trying different drafts from different angles, seeing what's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, for anybody who's listening with us, if you like any of our teams better, tweet us out, and let's have a discussion.
Absolutely. So I think it's a good way to end it right there. And I think this is going to be the ending of season 3, episode 1 of the Expert Advice from Non-Experts podcast. And we will be live again this Wednesday, and we'll be posting the audio on Thursday. And we are going to, obviously talk about have a few debate questions for some players we're going to talk about. Obviously, keep updated with all of any preseason news we hear, and we're also going to start our first episode talking about our divisional episode, and we're going to kick it off with both the NFC and the AFC East. So make sure you tune in live on Twitch at twitch.tv/the Coach Boonkie on Wednesday, and then you'll be able to listen to the audio on Thursday from Spotify and Apple Music. So everyone, we will see you Wednesday, and man, I'm glad we're back.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back.
Yes, sir. Good to be back.